Yeah! That's what I'm talking about, man! I knew they had it in them. The mid-season finale was perfect, and if you don't want spoilers, you need to get out right now because we're doing no holds barred for this round. This video is probably going to have a quicker pace because I am sick as a dog right now. I'm probably going to pass out at any given moment, so apologies for the voice and apologies for the speed. Let's get into it. Oh my god, Wally's back, kinda, Wally's back, kinda, Wally's back, kinda, Wally's back, kinda, Wally's kinda back! Get out of here, Naruto! Wally West is my best friend now. Yeah. Let's talk about Wally West in a minute, because he's not in the first episode, and unfortunately we should go in order here. Small potatoes first. First and foremost, we found out that Will Harper is still in love with his baby mama, and they are still one of the top tier ships on the show. Unfortunately, they are way better used to service the plot if they're not together, which is going to pain me in the heart, but it should leave some really great storytelling to be told, so for now, I guess we're all just going to have to live with that. Some of you may remember last week, I complained about there being too much going on with the plot and not enough going on with the character development because I am a shallow fanboy, and I wanted to see my characters bang into each other like action figures. Luckily, that is not going to be a problem for us this week because we've got round 3 of Superheroes in High School. Forager's alter ego of Fred Bug with 2 G's has got to be the greatest alter ego they've come up with in the entirety of the show so far, and I will defend him till the day I die. My baby son Forager and Violet decided to show why the Season 2 team is not as good as the Outsiders yet again by having the best character development between those two thus far in the season. Sure, they meet up with Harper Row, who is really just Gwen Stacy from Into the Spider-Verse, and that's really odd. She looks a lot like her, she talks just like her, but you know what, she's a pretty cool addition, and I hope that they don't try and rope her in this season because it's already overcrowded, especially with the next person that I'm about to talk about, but she's got time. Cyborg was far and away my favorite character of the OG Teen Titans series back in the early noughties, and so I thought he was going to be the slam dunk character for the set for me. He wasn't, but that does not mean he was not still incredible, and the interactions between him and the former voice actor I should say, for Cyborg were really satisfying, and they were definitely the fan service that the character really deserves, especially after the treatment he got in the Justice League movie. However, the big shocker in this set was my second favorite character from the OG Teen Titans series, and that would be Beast Boy. When it comes to the Young Justice Beast Boy, I have not liked a single episode that he has been in, or rather I haven't liked him in a single episode that he has been in, and I cannot believe that I'm able to say that in one episode they gave him all the character development that they robbed him of last season, and they made him 10 times better than he was, and just as interesting as he was in the original Teen Titans show. Sure, they cheated and used the original Teen Titans show to a lesser extent to help them, but we'll get into that in a minute. Beast Boy's little acid trip down the rabbit hole into Wonderland, where Doom Patrol Go, voiced by the Teen Titans Go and original Teen Titans voice actors, was incredibly charming, and it was so unexpected. The fact that they switched the art style, the fact that they switched the voice actors for Beast Boy for those scenes, it was all a trip, and it really made him a three-dimensional character, and did this weird thing where not only did it get you excited for Doom Patrol as its own show, but it kind of got me excited for Teen Titans Go for the first time in my life, and potentially, if we're lucky, maybe a reboot of the original Teen Titans. Easily the most exhilarating and trippy part about the entire Beast Boy dream sequence was when all of the dead characters from previous seasons showed up in his Kobayashi Maru test. Most importantly, this guy. It wasn't Wally West in his true form. He was pretty much just a ghost the entire time, and often a monkey. But the fact that they have the voice actor signed back on was just enough teasing to let the fans know, yeah, they heard us. There was no way they couldn't have heard us. We got the 3rd season back on specifically for his return. And this was the perfect way to kind of hint that, like, oh yeah, you guys need to come back in June. And it actually might be worth it. I can't believe I'm going to say that. It might be worth coming back all the way in June just to see if this guy shows up. Actually, I take that back. The most shocking thing that happened this set, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, Miss Martian did stuff. And not only did she do stuff, she did really cool stuff. And I'm actually gonna talk about it. It was that important. So Garfield's tripping out and he doesn't have a spirit guide. The question becomes, who's gonna be able to guide him? He's freaking out, he's seeing visions of his dead mother. And his sister, who he feels like he abandoned, looks just like his mother, so that doesn't really go so well for his psyche. And that's where Miss Martian shows up in all of her glory for the first time since I guess, season 1. I mean, she had some cool scenes in season 2, whatever. The point is, for the first time in a long time, at least to me personally, she felt like the McGann that we fell in love with in the beginning of Young Justice. Sure, there was a certain amount of naivety to her. There was a certain amount of growth that she had to go to so that she wouldn't become a stale and ultimately not impactful character. But the fact that her heart seems like it's in the right place again, and she was able to bond with Garth on such a good level, and not only elevate herself in my eyes, but also him, shows the strength of the writing and also of the voice acting that was done by all characters involved. The show really has great voice actors, even though they use them for about 12 characters per episode, but when the actors are that talented, you kind of let it slide. They actually do a really good job of weaving Garfield's storyline and what's going on with Batman's team, and Batman's storyline I'm not going to get into too deeply because, as I've stated previously, kind of needs to be its own show. He's not part of the team. He's not young by any stretch of the imagination, but it is worth talking about briefly. Batman's just as cool as he always was. They did a good job of making Bane less aggro and more intellectual when he fights, which makes him a much more thrilling combatant. And they did a great job of using Lady Shiva as a foil for Katana, making them both seem like badasses. And they did this weird thing where there's the new Metamorpho. I don't know his name, and to be honest, I'm not going to look it up. But he kind of has to get teed off on by Deathstroke, which is a weird matchup because they spent so long in the second season building Deathstroke up that to see this new guy just go toe-to-toe with him sort of cheapens both of their power sets. But enough about the plot. Nobody's really here for the plot. You know what we're here for. A plethora of well-developed ships. As disappointed as I am that Artemis and Wally didn't get their time and Dick and Babs didn't get their time, even though they're my two favorite ships, makes me, it's gonna be okay because Brion and Violet, great ship. They finally lock it down. Good for them. I'm happy. And I'm so happy that they didn't make Cyborg just another male foil for Brion. They could have easily ruined him really quick. Superboy and Miss Martian are just as cute as they always were in the first season and not in the second because that was abusive. So good on them for making that turnaround and seem like a real relationship again. Forager and the Bioship are having a very complex and intimate relationship, and honestly, the best ship so far this season. And then Beast Boy and Perdita are pretty cool as well, I suppose. I don't know. They're too young to do it for me in terms of screen time. Black Lightning not only is an interesting ship, but more importantly, Black Lightning is back. He straight up fries a chick at one point during this run, and it's terrifying. They had shown him use his powers to a lesser extent in earlier episodes, and if you watch the Black Lightning show, you kind of get an idea what he can do, but this was the first time in this show that he just circuit boarded somebody. And now to pump the brakes on all the fun, because there's plot that we actually do need to get to, unfortunately. The Outsiders, and most importantly Brion, finally find Tara or Tara. I don't really know what they're going to go with for the rest of the season. It seems like Tara is the way they're going to go, but I'm going to keep calling her Tara out of habit, probably. They rescue Tara from this crazy metahuman fight club that was being run in the Greater Bialia, I believe it was called. Queen Bee's spot, you know what it is. We got to see a really cool link strike, kind of Final Fantasy style, between her and Brion, where they use their powers and synergy during her escape. And that was really cool to see. And for a moment, it seemed like we weren't going to get the Judas Contract bad guy Tara, who has like this weird hard-on for Slade Wilson. But then later in the episode, it turns out that she, in fact, is evil and probably is going to have a weird thing for Slade Wilson, which I'm not a fan of. But we'll see what they do with it, because the Judas Contract as a story is still really great. No sign of Jason Todd outside of that hologram. No sign of Damian Wayne. That's kind of disappointing, but you know what? Take what you get, because we got a lot in these 4 episodes. And the fact that we even got 4 episodes instead of 3 felt like a really good win. This split was actually filled with a lot of wins. But sometimes it's important to remember that the biggest wins of all were sometimes looking at you right into your face the whole time. 10 out of 10, can't wait for June. So that's going to do it for this mid-season finale of Young Justice. If you enjoyed my little rant, go ahead and feel free to leave a like. Maybe even consider subscribing if you want to see me do more. You can comment down below, tell me what you want me to do next, because gotta be entirely honest with you guys, I hadn't really come up with anything for after this. So until next time, you voiders, stay beautiful.